Alrighty, y'all. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see me, but it's opening morning of turkey season here in Virginia, and it's a little bit after 6 a.m. on April the 8th of 2023. I'm out here on the family farm this morning. I was able to roost 4 birds last night, about 150 to 200 yards behind the house up here. The problem is, this property is very finicky when it comes to birds. They don't like to cross here and don't like to spend a lot of their day here, but they'll come up here if they have to. I'll show you all in a minute, but the way this back area works on this property is I own all the way up to the tree line, but there's a big drop off down behind the property, and at the bottom of that drop off, the neighbor has a clear cut down there from a couple years ago, and they like to fly straight off the hillside and land right down in that clear cut. And once they do that, it's very hard to bring the birds up here. So it's going to be very, very tricky to get them up here. But if we can, there's 4 of them packed down in here tight behind the house. We could be in for a show this morning. I'm going to try to get the best shots that I can for filming. I'm going to be self-filming. I'm out here with the bare minimals this morning. I have 1 little box slide call and like 2 little pot calls. That's it. I didn't even bring the little Scotch-Brite pads for my pot calls. That's how minimal we're going this morning. As far as what setup we're going to be running, it's going to be the Mossberg 500 410 turkey with the Herter's TSS 9-shot 3/4 ounce shells and the stock choke out of that gun. So let me hop outside and see if I can show you and explain to you a little bit better where those birds are at and what the game plan is, because it's going to be extremely tricky here. And we've only got until noon, so we have to see if we can make something happen out here this morning. It's going to be a tough one, to say the least. Okay, so here's the backyard that I'm going to be working with. From me to the tree line you see right there is about 40 yards right now. I only own up to that tree line. I've got 1 bird roosted right off that hillside back there, about 150 yards. There's 2 of them right back here side by side, about 150 yards. And there's 1 right up there that's about 200 yards out. It's just starting to get to light now. So I'm going to see if we can get one of these birds to gobble a little bit. And I'll catch up with y'all if he starts coming or not. Alright, y'all, let me fill you in real quick on what's been going on this morning. So it's currently about 7:40 in the morning. It's been daylight for about 45 minutes or so now, and those birds have gobbled twice this morning. We had a cold front come in yesterday afternoon. It went from highs in the high 70s to today it's only supposed to be a high of 51. I figured with them birds gobbling last night that we might be able to pull them up here. But what I think actually happened is there was a hen between me and them, and they started to work up here a little bit, because the 2 times that they gobbled, they were a little bit closer to me than they were last night. But I think when they found that hen, they got with her and worked with her right down the backside of the ridge like I was concerned about. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait it out and call a little bit more and see if I can get a response. But it's not looking too amazing for the farm this morning just yet anyway. Well, that's not who's in season right now, but it's good to see him out here anyway. 3 does over there, I believe, anyway. We need turkeys, not deer. Alright, y'all, we're back up at the family farm again. It's technically a few days later now. Where we'd left off before, it was Saturday morning, opening morning. It's currently Thursday, and to say the least, Saturday morning did not go to plan. Those birds flew down off the roost and pretty much immediately went silent. They were not interested at all in what I was trying to call to them, which is exactly what I figured they were probably going to wind up doing. I've had them do it to me a number of times before, and it's kind of what I expected. but over the past few days, I've been hearing turkeys at about 11 to 12 o'clock time frame over on the far southeast corner of this property. I have a small deer plot planted over there for back during deer season, and for whatever reason they love scratching around over there. It's currently about 10 o'clock right now, so I'm gonna scoot over there and see what I can see and maybe get something sparked up. It's kind of an interesting layout that I'll show you when we get over there, but it's tough fighting against the neighbor's corn stubble field, because that's where they like to hang out most of the day. But if they're alone, I might be able to pull them across. I don't know. We'll just have to see. So I'll pick you guys up when we get over there. Okay, so we've made it to that lower food plot area. We've got two areas. We've got this, which is the lower spot, and right over here, which is the upper spot. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but right up through that tree line, about 60 yards in front of me, is my property line. There's a big corn stubble field up there that's got CRP growing up through it now. That is the neighbor's property up there. I don't have permission to hunt that property, which does not make it very easy to hunt turkeys around here. That is where the turkeys like to spend most of the day, is right up there. But I've seen them a number of times and heard them down here milling around in this deer plot. So I'm gonna scoot over there and peek my head up right through the edge of the trees and see if I can see any activity over there and hit a call a few times. And if something answers me, we'll get in a setup and see if maybe we might be able to bring them across and down into here. But there's two big hang-up spots right over there. Right on the edge of that field up there, there's an old barbed wire fence. And right off the edge of the food plot, there's a creek bottom. Now there's only a couple inches of water in that creek bottom, but it's like a 4-foot drop off on each side of the bank. So it may have to be a case of having to set up over on the other side of that creek bank, up very close to the property line, and get them before they hit that creek bank, because they may not want to come across that creek bank very easily. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. He's right over there on the edge of the field, right by the property line. Let's see if we can bring him across or not. There's two of them over there. Alright y'all, so we've hit 12 o'clock and that means the day's done in Virginia, at least for the first 2 weeks anyway. I called those birds 150 yards across that field of the neighbors, and they would not commit to coming across the line far enough. I never did actually see them, but they got within 50 yards of me. They answered me for the first hour or so I was calling to them, but after that they went silent. So I don't know if they had a hen over there or not. I never heard one, but I don't know. Either way, I think we've got a good idea of what setup we can set up in tomorrow. I think we can get in here at about the same time and do the same thing, and hopefully one of these times they'll commit and actually come across the line to me. So we'll pick up back here tomorrow and see what we can make happen. Alright y'all, it's several days later at this point, and I just spotted 2 toms and 2 jakes, I believe, skirting across the whole edge of this property. So I went around the whole back side and I'm going to try to cut them off. It's going to be tough because there's not a lot of great movement positions here, but I got to try and get one on the ground. So we got to make a move here and do something. Alright, well, I caught a glimpse of one of them about 50-60 yards through the trees. There was nothing I could have done about it. I tried to call them up here and they weren't interested. And last I saw, they were working towards the neighbor's field again. So odds are they just worked right past me, right over the edge of the ridge where there was nothing I could really do about them. And it's so thick down there that it's not like I could have stood up and done anything either. So I guess they just ended up in the neighbor's field again, which is no surprise to me. They're up there every day, it seems. We'll just have to keep chasing them and See if we can catch him in the right place at the right time, I suppose. Alright, I'm going to hop in right here and give you some context of what you're going to see, because it's a very quick jump here, and without context, it's going to be rough trying to follow along. So, I was up here at the family farmhouse today, and I caught a bird right along the property line in the backyard here, out of the corner of my eye. So I went in the garage, grabbed my setup, just threw on whatever camo was laying there, grabbed probably the worst pot call that I have. It's terrible. And I snuck around the front porch and set up against the corner. We have some grass there. And tried to call this bird across the backyard here. Now I've seen them come across here before, right along this fence line that you see behind me here. So I know there's a chance of pulling this bird across. So let's hop back into the video and pick up where we left off. And stay tuned. You're going to want to watch what happens here. Oh, yes. Whew. Oh. We crushed that bird. Right up in the backyard, man. Oh. The old Mossberg 500 410. That's the first bird with it. That was 22 minutes, the camera says. I had to wait for that bird to move. Oh, yes. It only took about 3 weeks, but we got the first Virginia bird down of the season. Oh, yes. There it is. You can see I'm shaking. Oh, you don't lose that feeling. Man, we crushed that bird. I tried to let him get as far into the frame as I could, but he was starting to get a little nervous and look in my direction, and I don't have the best spot here. Oh, man. Yes. He is stone dead over there. No flop at all, man. Let's go take a look at him. First off, this was the setup. Just right behind this piece of grass that we got here in the corner of the house. Oh. And there he is right over there. He looks farther than he actually is on camera. Let's go take a look at him. Alright, y'all. Well, here he is. I counted 34 steps for the shot. So somewhere between 30 and 35 yards, I'd say. Got a decent beard on him. Not super long, but definitely decent. The spurs have a little bit to be desired. He's a young bird still. But hey, he's beautiful, and I'll take him, absolutely. For the struggle that it's been the first 3 weeks of this season, getting a bird off this property, man, I'll take that any day. Alright, y'all, well, for the struggle it's been on this property so far, he is a beautiful bird, and I'll take him any day of the season. Beautiful Virginia Eastern. It was a tough one. We had to chase these birds all over the property. They kept skirting us. They did exactly what I thought they were going to do, but we were in the right place at the right time. And we got it done with the old 410 and them Herter shells and them budget TSS shells. Absolutely demolished this bird. I can't thank y'all enough for wanting to stick around with me and watch these videos. This is This has been so fun so far, and I hope to continue to make videos for y'all. You don't lose the feeling of getting a turkey or getting a deer or anything like that. It's a feeling that never goes away. And I love every minute of it. So I just want to thank y'all for watching. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what y'all think about this. Hopefully I can knock another one or two down this spring for you. But man, this has been a rough 3 weeks for turkey hunting for me. But good luck as y'all get out there in the turkey woods. As you can see, budget shells can do it just the same as your big fancy expensive shells. So get out there and have fun in the woods. Get you a turkey, track one down, and stay persistent, because sometimes it takes patience and being in the right place at the right time. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. This has been a rough couple weeks. So I'll get back to filming more for y'all. Hopefully I can knock another one down. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.